So don't just slip by. These days they will come and go. That's how you build a good life. One step, two steps, three, and it's over. 5 into 6 again. 7 steps, 8 steps, 9, and I'm older, trying to figure out where I fit in. So hold yourself tight. So hold yourself tight. Everything will work out fine. So hold yourself tight. So hold yourself tight. Everything will work out fine. So hold yourself tight. One step, 2 steps, 3, and it's over. 5 into 6 again. 7 steps, 8 steps, 9, and I'm older, trying to figure out where I fit in. So in this life, hold yourself tight. Everything will work out fine. So hold yourself tight. So hold yourself tight. Don't you try to move too fast. So in this life, hold yourself tight. Everything will work out fine. Just hold yourself tight. You need to. Don't you try to move too fast. Just hold yourself tight. Please do. Everything will work out fine. Hold yourself tight. Yeah.
Well, I know how you want it to seem, but we'll watch as it all plays out. From the crest of the wave that we broke upon and pulled you back into the sea, all the way down. Why'd it take all our life to explain that it's more beautiful when you're here? I remember the light when it turned around and revealed all the truth, no escape. Point blank. Say it like it is this time for me to hear. Suddenly you felt all alone again.
ringtone humming, headed out to the highway. I should have seen it coming through the years left in the dust. But after all the lessons learned, it would end the both of us. There's a first for everything, like a hand holding mine. Now I'm left here with the pain from her I love you goodbye. And though it hurts to watch my whole world become the woman she would be, the thing that I forgot would set her free. I taught her how to leave. Man, it feels like yesterday when she was looking out that window on the bus to second grade. The first step she'd ever take, the first cut from a heartbreak. Been through it all, but now it's time to go our separate ways. There's a first for everything, like a hand holding mine. From her I love you goodbye. And though it hurts to watch my whole world become the woman she would be, the thing that I forgot would set her free. I taught her how to leave.
da